And I am live. At least I hope I'm alive. Hi to anyone who's tuning in. So happy to have you here with me. I hope someone is going to be able to join me live today. If not, that's okay. I'm still going to do my own thing. Today has been an incredible day. And today I want to talk about our mindset shift that has really helped me with meeting my intentions for this year, this month, the previous month, and all of that. But before that, I'm going to share an amazing thing that's happened today. Like, I don't know, today I was literally excited to actually come live. And it's such a huge change from me 2 weeks ago, when I did my first live and I was freaking out about making a mistake. And just to have that evolve to me right now, actually looking forward to being here, that's a huge thing. And I'm going to celebrate that. And if you're watching this, I love to celebrate you as well. So do comment down below and share your wins for this year, this month, this week, the last week. I don't care, even today. Just share anywhere you've grown and let me and anyone else who sees that comment celebrate you as well. So today I'm celebrating that the fact that that fear I had about going live is, I think it's almost gone. I don't know if it's completely gone because it's still a work in progress, but I'm going to be talking about that in this live. But to be honest, it feels amazing today. And I've also had an incredible day because I attended an amazing summit by Mind Valley, which just opened my eyes to so many different things. And I also watched an incredible YouTube video today. I don't know why. Like for me, I find like most of my awakenings happen through YouTube. I think guide, my guide just decided, this is the only way she will ever, not the only way she'll ever listen to us, but the easiest way to get through to me. So I'm always attracting these incredible teachers on YouTube, and then I get inspired to just dive deep into them. And today I just listened to a certain video from a new channeler or teacher, whatever you want to call it, that I'm tapping into. And she's incredible. I feel like I have a lot of things to learn about her, especially about my mindset and how to manage my relationship with the time aspect, with the abundance aspect. And it's really blowing my mind. And I'm gonna share more on that once I implement it in my own life and see what works. And of course, if it works, I'll be more than happy to share with you. Okay. But anyway, I digress. So for those who do not know me, my name is Eva. I'm an energetic intuitive healer. So I do work with two modalities, one of which is working with Akashic records, and it's a modality called soul realignment. What I love about soul realignment, and I've talked about this so many times before, but for anyone who's tuning in for the first time, I have to share what I actually do, right? The soul realignment is all about getting to your root identity. So I find that right now, especially in this time and space that you're in, where we're getting so many influences from so many points in the world, especially with the online streaming platforms. And we have so many people giving their opinions and what works, what doesn't work, and all of that. And I don't know about you, but I find it so annoyingly crazy sometimes because you keep being shipped from one end to the other. One day this works, the next day this doesn't work. And all of them have the reasons as to why whatever techniques they're tapping into work and or don't work, right? And it can drive you crazy, especially when you're not in tune with yourself. Okay. So soul alignment is all about getting to your awakening your most authentic self. Like who are you really? Who are you at soul level? Because who you are at soul level is how you present yourself to the world. But a lot of people have forgotten who they actually are based on all these influences around us, from society, from well-meaning parents, from well-meaning teachers, when we're being taught in school, right? From our colleagues, from our friends. A lot of us have actually forgotten who we actually are, you know? So we go against that because we've been taught to assume that whatever comes naturally for us, like there's nothing special about it. So tap into this other field instead, because that's the one that makes sense and that is the one that's marketable in the world. And then most people, and I'm talking this in terms of career-wise, because I think that's where a lot of people are stuck at. You tap into a field that's not an energetic match to who you are, and it creates a lot of dysfunction in your life. Okay. So when you discover your soul identity and discover your soul level gifts, and for most people, it's things that come so naturally for them. I've spoken so much about the gift of communication, the gift of art, but this is just two examples. Another thing you could be gifted at is in the gift of seeing the truth, divine truth. There's actually an energy center called that. And for them, it's their gift is actually in seeing the truth of everything. And when they really tap into that, they're often the ones who speak the truth that needs to be heard in that moment and helping people to really face their truth, which is such a beautiful gift for anyone who's open to that. But not everyone is gifted in that. For someone who might be gifted in this, they might look at it and assume that, I'm not doing anything special. But what I found is that most people, the things that come naturally for them, they tend to just forego and they always go for the shiny syndrome thing, like, no, the thing that's there is way better. The grass is green on the other side. And then they forget the soul level gifts, right? But you find that once you go against who you're designed to be, the only thing you'll be doing is spending your time and energy and causing a lot of friction, right? Trying to access something that you're not really designed to do. But you find that if you switch that perspective and now start working hand in hand with who you're designed to be, things just tend to evolve or flow much easier for you. And you're able to really tap into your soul level gifts and create an amazing experience for yourself in the physical reality. The soul realm, and that's what we do. It's connecting you back to that and reminding you what your soul level gifts are that you now get to leverage, create a better human experience for yourself. And the next thing with that is to also help you connect with a particular soul story, a past life where you made certain mistakes that might currently be affecting you. So what I've also found with some of the clients is that the experiences you've had in this lifetime have most of the time have nothing to do with the choices you're currently making. There's usually a tie to a past life of yourself where you started making negative choices that are currently impacting you. So what usually happens is that you'll keep on attracting the same type of experiences, the same type of people over and over and over again in an attempt for your soul to kind of like heal that karma for yourself. But most people, because they lack the awareness of what mistakes they made in the past, they keep on making the same mistakes again and again and again. So with soul realignment, it's connecting you to that particular lifetime and that particular soul story so that you can identify the patterns that are currently presenting in your life. Then now with that awareness, you can start making better choices. And then of course, at the end of the reading, you get to like clear all this negative karmic blueprint that's within your soul blueprint, clear it out that energetically now you start attracting new and better circumstances, not ones based on who you were in the past, but ones based on what now you want to create. And with that awareness, it's kind of like empowering you to make better choices going forward. So the second modality I do work with is called quantum flow, which is all about rewiring your nervous system. So why I love this method, it's something that I've really tapped into since 2020, and it's made such a significant difference in my life. I will say like it's accelerated my healing process. Like it's 10x everything. And what most people do is that, especially in the spiritual or self-development world, is that there is so much focus on the mind, but very little focus on your body. And combining those two can really help you accelerate the results. So a lot of your past trauma, emotional wounds, past wound patterns, whatever you can think of, they're all recorded within your nervous system, which is directly connected to your unconscious mind. So you find that as you operate through life, you keep on attracting experiences because again we live in an energetic world and everything is vibration. So as long as you're vibrating in the frequency of who you were in the past based on the trauma and the emotional wounds and all of that, you keep on attracting people and circumstances that still is an energetic match to that. And of course, that only keeps you stuck in those negative emotions of fear, of anger, disappointment, jealousy, you name it, right? Which is where I would say like a lot of people are currently operating in. And what quantum flow does is break those patterns down, release the stuck energy so that you can get the energy flowing again and now able now to create a more conscious, intentional experience for yourself based on the new vibration you're tapping into. So we're tapping into the intention of who you want to be. Do you want to attract love into your life? It's tapping and feeling out that vibration and truly embodying that love vibration so that you can attract more of those kind of experiences. So I hope I've summarized that well for you. If you want to know more, you can check out my about section, connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, or book a discovery call, whatever you feel called to or resonates with you, or if you're ready, you can just go ahead and book a session and I'll see you on the other side. So introductions out of the way. Today, I want to talk about something that's really helped me shift my mindset on how I'm approaching my goals this year. And this has to do with how we acquire certain stuff. And this is something that I learned from one of the webinars I attended sometime this year. And what this person said is that any kind of new state that you want to embody, like for example, confidence, right? You want to learn how to be more confident. So when most people approach that, how most people approach that is that I want to embody the feeling or the state of confidence. How does confidence feel? And that's how I want to show up in the world. And that's how they approach getting that particular vibration of confidence, right? Because everything's vibration. So, but what this person said, or this coach said, it was that these skills or these states that you want to embody, you should approach them as if you're approaching how you normally get skills, right? So a skill is something like I want to learn how to dance, I want to become a dog boxer, I want to learn how to hike. Those are skills, right? So most people are attached like physical circumstances to acquiring skills. Learning how to be a lawyer, learning how to be a doctor, learning how to ski. I'm just coming up with example, learning how to sing, right? Those are skills, right? But now this kind of like soft skills, the confidence, the happiness, the compassion, and all of the patience, right? We don't approach it as that. But if you actually switched your mindset and decided that confidence, instead of approaching it as a state, approach it as a skill that I want to acquire. So I want to learn the skill of confidence and approach it as that. So how do you normally go about approaching a skill? Okay, so we're gonna use an example like dancing. Okay, I love to dance, by the way. If assuming I've never had the experience of dancing my entire life, not everyone is born with the skills of dancing, boxing. It's something you have to learn, right? Or maybe for the lucky ones who are prodigies, prodigy. Oh man, I don't know how to say that. Sorry about that. But anyway, if there are people who are, the lucky ones who are born with that, which is okay, but not everyone is born like that, okay? So assuming I want to be a dancer, how will I approach that skill? Do I just wake up today and, open up my TikTok and open up my YouTube and start recording myself dancing if I've never danced before and it's not something that I'm used to? Of course not. It's something I actually have to probably sign up to a course, a class, and learn the basic level skills, and then I can upgrade on that. Okay, look at how and this is an example I had from a different teacher. It was that assuming you want to learn how to box, right? You can't just wake up today and say, you know what, I want to be a boxer, and then tomorrow you're busy in the ring fighting, the legends like Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather. I don't care, right? That doesn't happen, right? You have to start somewhere. It's learning the techniques of, wearing your gloves right, learning the stance, the stamina, how you're supposed to go about it, right? Like you have to start at the seriously basic level, and then now you keep on upgrading your skills as you go by, right? And along the way, right, for you to really test yourself, to know if you really mastered the skills, there are going to be tests along the way, right? So you just don't come from 0 to 100 just like that. There's a process, right? So I'm going to learn the basic skills for level 1. I'm going to master that, and then I'm going to be tested on that, and then go to level 2, level 3, level 4, like that, right? It's the same thing we do when we go to school, right? You cannot take a kid from kindergarten class and put them in a PhD class and expect them to follow along. That's crazy, right? You will never do that. So approaching that kind of mindset with how you want to acquire maybe the skill of confidence, of patience, of time management, something like that. Now, if it's something that you genuinely are struggling, meaning that you still haven't embodied that, you still have to learn how to do about that, how to go about it, right? So I want to learn how to be confident and I want to approach it as a skill. It will be like, okay, so I don't know anything about how to be confident. I'm going to find the best teachers that I resonate with online and I'm going to enroll in that class and I'm going to learn from them, right? It could be a teacher, a course, whatever you feel good. You can read a book about it, check YouTube videos. There are a ton of videos about it, right? But then once you learn, you also have to test yourself. Like, have I really mastered this skill of confidence? And how do you test yourself? By actually putting yourself in situations that get you to test that ability. So it could be like, I'm gonna maybe confidently or use my confidence to go and ask my boss for a raise or go and ask my boss to, stop giving me so much work and taking advantage of me, that requires confidence in your abilities, right? So something like, so you just start testing yourself small. If there's something that you felt like a certain area that you felt confidence will really benefit from, you can just start small, right? So in the work area, it could be learning how to just say no confidently to certain people who probably take advantage of you and then growing from that. Okay, so that's how you test yourself. Now, what normally happens when you're acquiring skills, let's go back to the school settings. So you've gone through grade one, you've been taught all these subjects, multiplication, addition, I don't care, all those things. You go through an exam for the teachers to, test you. Have you actually mastered whatever we've taught you? Okay. So you go through the exam. What happens? Some people fail, some people pass, right? And usually, best case scenario is that everyone moves to the next level. But if you failed an exam, does that mean you quit school completely and say, this school is not for me? I was not born for that. Like, I'm out, right? The world we live in does not allow for that to happen. It requires you to wake up and learn your lessons, right? So, for example, if there are certain questions that you didn't get right, and now based on that failure, now you know what the answer is. The next time I'm encountering that question, of course, now know the right answer. So I'm not going to fail again in the best case scenario because now I already know from my past failure that answer that I gave that time was wrong. This answer is the correct answer. I'm going to give the correct answer and move on to the next level. So I'll be using that same kind of mindset when now you're approaching the skill level. It's that you probably, the best case scenario is that the first time round you do it, you've mastered the skill and you're ready to move on to more advanced levels. But not always, right? There are times you're going to fail within this process. So maybe you'll approach someone and then if fear kicks in, you're like, oh no, I can't do this. So that's your fail. So next time you're going to say, okay, before I approach this difficult person that I need to embody confidence to tackle, I'm going to take a couple of breathing exercises or I'm going to meditate for 2 minutes or just say a short prayer to get me in that confidence level. Then I'm going to approach this person. Maybe you didn't do that before. Okay. So you try the meditation and then you're like, oh, so now meditation works. And when that works, now you move on to the advanced level of, okay, so I'm going to use this confidence to go and speak in front of or give a presentation, something you've never done before, right? Chances are when you go to speak the first time, you might fumble your words a bit, right? You might get there and just go blank. So now, when you find yourself in that kind of situation, that's not an invitation for you to give up on acquiring the skill of confidence. So, the same way you didn't quit in your school, use the same approach here. Right now, when you fail, it's that, okay, I didn't get it right the first time, but I know what I did wrong, and I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes this time. So, I'm going to test myself again and again and again until I master this skill of confidence. I want to share this because it's been such a game changer for me, especially this year. I've shared, like in the first live, how terrified I was, right, of doing that live. And speaking like this is something that I was really self conscious about because I was so terrified of making a mistake, which again was just my mind playing tricks on me because it hasn't really happened yet in the lives, which is okay. And if it does, it's a lesson to learn. And I'm not going to repeat the same mistake again, right? But it's really helped me in the sense that because now I'm aware that as I'm approaching a skill, that there are moments I'm going to fail, there are moments I'm going to succeed. and like that, because that's the process of life. That's the process of how we grow and evolve. The lucky ones, which I will say is, I wouldn't say like for everyone who's alive right now, like you've never made a mistake, because if you haven't, I would wonder, like, are you really having a physical reality, physical experience? Because as long as you're in this reality, in this physical existence, mistakes are part of it. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fail, you're gonna all those things, but that's the fun, that's the enjoyment of the process. That's how you grow, that's how you evolve, right? So mistakes will always be part of it. And what this has helped me learn or just make peace with is that I'm going to make mistakes. And that's completely okay. In my first life, I could barely, I didn't even know that there was a process with how you set up the YouTube live. Like, you can't just wake up and go live on YouTube. There are certain things you have to put in measure, like YouTube doesn't allow you. So there's like a 24-hour period to wait to do that. So now I know that. I didn't know that. Okay. But now I know, because I got past, because had I allowed that to just tell me, you know what, maybe this is a sign I should just give up, then I wouldn't be here doing this right now. But I didn't. I was like, okay, fine. That was a mistake. The day I was supposed to go live is not the day that I went live. I actually waited a whole week before pressing that button because of this technicalities and also my mindset at that point that I learned. And that's how I want you to go about how you approach life. And I'm talking about anything, even the skill of learning to love yourself. That's a skill. If you've never had it before, that's a skill that you need to learn from someone. So go find a teacher, go find practices that will help you embody this for you and approach it like that. And again, take yourself to your mindset when you're going through the whole process of, you know, there are certain times I failed my exams, there's certain times I passed and all of that, and just going through the motions. You never quit then. You had to move forward. Like no one allowed you to quit because by then those things were like out of our control, right? Because your teacher wouldn't let you quit, your parents wouldn't let you quit, and that's okay. We thank them for the service that they gave us. But if you were able to push past through that uncomfortable feeling of failure and all of that back then, you can do it again and again and again and just make peace with the fact that that is just the process we're in, right? And another thing that I'm also learning with this is that with the whole process of learning skills, there's another thing that normally comes, another trick of your ego mind whenever you're learning something. It's that state of, I already know this. Why do I need to learn this again? I've been there a couple of times. So when I'm sharing this, I only share things that I've mostly or 90% of the time I've actually experienced in my life. So I'm talking about things that I've gone through, right? When you get to that point, you're like, I already know everything from this teacher. Like I've studied this course through and through. There's nothing you can teach me. And boy, has that egoic kind of mindset been destroyed or ripped to shreds, the more I go through this process. Because funny thing is that I'm currently now going through the process of retaking the certification courses I've taken, right? The ones I'm certified in, that's quantum or realignment, okay? My ego will say, like, but I already did it the first time, I already passed the exam. Why do I need to learn? It's like, I already know this. But you know what I'm actually learning by retaking the course again? And I'm actually going to do it again and again because you can never learn enough and we sometimes forget. I'm actually taking the courses and it's kind of hitting me like there are things that they're saying that I do not recall them saying before, honestly. And I'm like, but I took this class, I took notes. I thought I did, but it's kind of like I'm learning some fresh material and it's the same video. Nothing has changed, right? I can't say like they removed the previous video and uploaded a new one. No, it's the same video, the same thing, like nothing has changed. But I'm actually learning new information right now that I didn't tap into back when I was doing the certification. And here's what I've discovered from that is that you only receive information that you're a vibrational match to. So if you checked out what I was saying before about working with soul, element, and quantum flow, right? You attract things that you're vibrationally in tune with, right? So certain information does not really match the kind of belief system, the kind of structure that's within you, it will just go over your head. And I've said this a couple of times before, I can come here and talk about the concept of reincarnation over and even scream at you. If you're not ready to listen to that, and if your belief structure is fully rooted in, reincarnation is just myth, like I did years back, because I used to believe that until my mindset and I upgraded my vibration, and then I started tapping into this. And it's the only thing that makes sense right now. But if I do that and I'm not vibrationally in tune with that, I'll never, I don't care what happens. I can scream at you, I can beat you to get this information. It will just never register. But the minute I upgrade or I shift my vibration to be a match to this information, which is a process that I think happens naturally, your soul knows what you're ready for. So that's how you keep on attracting different teachers at different stages of your life. You can't continue with the same teacher you had in kindergarten. You will not be a vibrational match to them, especially if you've studied all the way into PhD or master's level. I don't care. Now imagine your kindergarten teacher being here and teaching you A is for apple and B is for boy. Like you'd find that to be so ridiculous because you've outgrown that. You're not in that vibration anymore. But for a kid who's learning this afresh, it's magical because that's where they're vibrationally in tuning. So it doesn't make the kindergarten teacher wrong. They're just wrong for you. Okay. So what I'm learning is that you also can't come up and just say, like, I already know everything. I don't need to learn anymore. No, you already know whatever you're a vibrational match to right now. And as long as you're in this process of growing and evolving and transforming yourself, which I hope if you're watching this, that's who you are, then you'll always find that year in, year out, month in, month out, as long as you're working on evolving yourself, then when you're shifting and raising your vibration higher and higher, you're going to be available to new and new information. So you might find that even something that you listened to 100 times before and probably you listened to last year, right now, when you listen to that information, it will be hitting you very differently because your mindset has evolved, your vibration has changed. Okay, so and I'm sharing this again from experience. Never assume that I already know everything. You really don't. And always approach life as and aim to stay the humble student of life because you really don't know. If you did know everything, then you will not be here. This is what you're here to do, to learn, to grow, to evolve, right? So you don't know everything yet, as long as you're in this physical reality. And the discovery of that is actually the process, the fun of it, the fun of the experience for me anyway. I don't know about you. Okay. So I was talking about how this has helped me change my mindset, like approaching everything as a skill and not as a state I want to embody. It's allowed me to give myself the grace of failure, to release the shame and guilt that might come about if I don't perform my best at a particular point. I'm giving a good example because if you're watching this, then you're bearing witness to me actually trying to master the skill of going live on YouTube. This is not a skill I had 1 month ago. So I'm literally learning here right now. Okay. So I'm allowing myself to make the mistakes and be making peace with that. I'm gonna make mistakes and that's fine. I'm gonna come here sometimes maybe and just fumble my words, forget what I was gonna say, and that's completely okay. Next time I'll do better. And that's how you approach life. But what I've also seen is that it's made the learning experience so much fun because I'm allowing myself to make the mistakes. I think this is what most people find difficult. When you're so attached to, I gotta be perfect, I have to have everything perfectly figured out. I don't know. I think for me, that just makes you like really constricted and really, you don't have the freedom to be yourself. But now, like, picture like yourself as a kid and just let loose, and make all the mistakes you're gonna make. It's gonna be so much fun. It just makes the process so much easier. So for me, the learning part is so much fun because I'm like, you know what? It's okay if I fail. It's okay if I succeed. If I succeed, the way better, way better for me, right? Because also the victory gonna help me feel good, stroke my ego a bit, and that's fine. But if I make a mistake, well and good, at least I learned something, and tomorrow I'm gonna be better. And that's basically the kind of mindset that I'm starting to dive into going forward, and it's made such a huge difference in my life. And I hope if you're watching this, it's something that's gonna help you as well. So if you have questions about this, do comment down below, ask any questions you have of me. Again, connect with me on Facebook, connect with me on Instagram. I'm going to leave the descriptions or the links to all of that down in the description box. If you're new to my channel, maybe this is the first time you're seeing me, I don't know. Do support the channel, subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell so that you can get notifications on any time I go live. My wish is to actually interact with one person, two people on this live. I don't know because I've been showing up and no one shows up live, but that's okay. No problem. Still a learning process. I don't care. No, I do care. Sorry, I do care. But anyway, yeah, do connect with me. If you have or want a chance to work with me one on one, I do have a couple of offers I have for your services I can give you. You can do the soul realignment session and be done. You can do the quantum flow session, be done. You can do a combination of both. I do have offers for all of that. So again, I'll leave the link to that down below, or you can check the on the description box down below. Sorry. Or you can check my about section and connect with me. And for now, I hope I will get to meet you on the other end one of these days. If at all you resonate with my energy and you feel as if the kind of modalities I have or I share are things that can actually help you heal and move forward in your life. So sending you so much love, and I will see you in a couple of days for my next live. And thank you so much. Bye for now.